In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how you can set up parental control on your child's iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch. So with content and privacy restriction in screen time, you can block or limit specific apps and features on your child's device. You can also restrict the settings on your phone, iPad, or iPod Touch for explicit content, purchases, downloads, and privacy. Okay, so to begin, I'll show you how you can set content and privacy restriction. So what you need to do is to go to settings. In settings, tap screen time, turn on screen time, tap on continue. If you're setting up for your child, you tap on this is my child's device. Choose not to set it now. So for now, we'll just skip it. App limits, which apps do I want to limit? Is it all the apps? Is it just social media applications? I'll say not now. And then, because we'll come to those settings later on, content and privacy restrictions, you tap continue. Then you'll be asked to put in your passcode to turn on content and privacy. So make sure to choose a passcode that's different from the passcode your child uses on the phone, because they'll just go back in and then disable everything you did. So I'll put in a passcode. Okay, and then here you enter your Apple ID, not your child's Apple ID. You can't use the same Apple ID as the one which is used on the phone. So you choose a different Apple ID. I'm going to try to put a test Apple ID. So this Apple ID it's to help me recover my code when I forget. Everything is set for me. So now if I want to prevent iTunes and Apple Store purchases, content and private restrictions, tap on iTunes and App Store purchases. At this point, I can choose whether to allow installing of application, allow deletion of application, in-app purchases, and then do you require a password for this? I can set yes or no. Allowed applications. This allows me now to choose which applications I want my child to have access to. So these are inbuilt applications, the applications which came with my phone. So I can say I don't want my child to have access to FaceTime. If she's been spending too much time with the camera, I can disable it. I can disable e-wallet, all this stuff. Okay, so it's just easy as that. You just toggle, then you switch off. If you want to prevent explicit content and content rating, so on the same page, content and privacy restriction, you go to content restrictions, and then you choose the ratings you want to use. What type of rating? I'll go with the United States rating. So on the music and podcast, what type of content do I want my child to view? So I'll set it to clean. And then music videos, do I want my child to be viewing music videos? I'll say yes. Profiles, I'll say yes. Type of movies I want my child to be watching, the rating you want, I'll set it to G. What about TV shows? I'll set it to TVY. Books, we want clean content, don't want any explicit books. What type of applications? I want the 4+. Okay, and then app clips, you can choose to allow or not allow. And then the web content filter, so whatever your child is trying to save on the website, do you want to give unrestricted access or limit adult websites, or allowed websites only? So the moment you tick allowed websites only, you need to start now ticking which sites you want your child to access. So there's already some clean websites good for kids, which Apple already recommends, but you can add more websites by clicking the add button. Okay, and then on the Siri search content, you choose as well, do you want your child to be searching via Siri? On the explicit language, you want to allow or not allow, so you can say don't allow. And then there's a multiplayer games, you can choose to allow or not allow. You can choose whether your child would want to add friends in the game center. Remember, these settings we are doing now are for the game center. So if you can see the little subheadings tell you where you're adding the restrictions on. So for the game center, adding friends, connecting with friends, screen recordings, private messagings, and stuff like that. Okay, if I'm happy with the settings here on the content restrictions, then I can go back. So on the content restriction part where you're under allow changes, here some feature settings which you can allow include the passcode change, whether you want your child to be changing the passcode, the account changes, cellular data changes, volume, you can set volume limits, and then the do not disturb while driving, the TV provider, changes to whether or not apps run in the background. Yeah, in this one it's okay, you can leave it running because you want to check the location as well. So once you're done with your setup and you're happy with everything you've set up, now you can go back to the settings we were saying later. So if you want to set the downtime, you just tick it okay. So you set a schedule for time away from the screen. So when would you like your child to be accessing the device? So you can set from when that time elapses, the device will just lock, and it will ask the child to enter the passcode you set. And then the app limit, you can add the app limit times for each application. It can be social media. So if I say add limit, it will ask me which application do I want to add, and at what time do I want my child to access those applications. And then there's the always allow apps, even if the phone is disabled. If the time elapses for your child to use your phone, you might want to leave maybe the call feature to be working, the message feature to be working, and some other application like school application to be working. You can choose which ones you want to add. So by ticking the minus sign, I'm removing it from the allowed. By ticking the plus sign at the bottom here, I'm adding them to the allowed. So for example, if I click on admin, it goes to the allowed. The content and privacy restriction, that's the option we're using to set the restrictions on different areas of our child's phone. So now the next thing is you need to set now the screen time passcode, so that your child cannot go back into the settings. So the way it is, the child can go into the settings and change the restrictions you've set. So I'll say use screen time passcode so that only you can change. So I'll go in there and then just put a passcode so only me can go in there. And then here setup we went through at the beginning, so that we can be able to reset the passcode in case we forget, using our Apple ID. Use my Apple ID, not my child's Apple ID. Okay, so I'm good. You can see my passcode has been set. For my child to turn off screen time, they'll have to enter the passcode, which I only know. And for them to reset, they will need your Apple ID. So that's it on the iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch settings for parental control. Hope you find this helpful. Thank you. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how you can set up parental control on your child's Android device. You can use your iOS phone, it can be an iPad, it can be an iPhone, to control your child's phone. But remember, child's phone has to be an Android. To do that, you go to Apple Store, search for Google Family Link. Mine is already downloaded, so just go ahead and open. Click next to set up your account. So this account is a parent account, not the child account. Remember, these settings are done on parent's phone. So I'm happy with the account being used there because it's my main Gmail account, and I would like to monitor my child using this account. If you have more than 2 or 3 accounts on your phone, or you'd like to use a separate account, you can switch account. I'm happy with this one. I'll click continue, click yes, click next. Then I will leave this phone here. Now it's instructing me to go to my child's phone and do the settings there. So I'll switch on my child's phone. This is my child's Android phone. Then what I'll do here, I'll go to settings on your child's Android phone. In settings, look for Google. Click it. Go down, find parental control, open parental control, then I'll get started. Then it will give you two options: are you a parent or a child? So I'll say this is a child, and I'll click next to link an account. Each Android phone is set up by a Gmail account, so if this is your child's phone, odds are that you've already created, or child already has the account in their Gmail account, because they cannot do anything on an Android phone without the Gmail account. So to add my child account, I know that's the account I need to add, and that's my kid's account, so I'll click on the account. Then here it's asking me to enter now which account you'll be using for monitoring. I know it's my Gmail account, which is set on my phone as a parent. I'll put in my password. So on this screen, because my account has got two-factor authentication set up, I need to use my phone. So I'll go and open my Gmail app on my iPhone and just say yes, it is me trying to log in. Your phone might not ask you if you haven't set up two-factor authentication. At this point, I'll go back to my child's phone. Here, when you see this screen, which means supervision has been set up successfully on the phone, your parent account has been given permissions to monitor your child's phone. So scroll all the way to the bottom of the page. You'll see an area where your child has to enter the email password, the account password. So I know my child's password. I'll go ahead and enter it there, and then they'll have to allow, more like a consent for supervision. You can see on my parent phone, I've received an email saying that my child wants me to manage his Gmail account. So it will tell me what this means and what is involved. So just read through the email, and then on my child's phone again, I'll just go ahead and click next to finalize the setup. As you can see, it will give me options now to start restricting what my child can see and what cannot see. Every time they try to change something, they have to get approval from you. So it will send a notification to your phone saying your child wants this application, or they want to access this application, which is under supervision, and you have to allow from your phone. Okay, so from the application side, these are the applications which are already installed, so it gives me the power as a parent to disable them. So I can just toggle the radio buttons to disable. If I don't want WhatsApp on my child's phone, I can disable that. Click on more to see more settings. On this page, this is where you manage the filter settings. So filters such as purchases and downloads. Will you allow your child to download things freely, or they'll need your approval? And then this is about games and apps. What type of apps do you want your child to download? And then I'll say okay. And then the games and movies, what kind of rating do I want my child to be, the type of movies my child to be watching? Go play books, books as well. Do you want to restrict sexually explicit books? Filters for Google. So in Google Chrome, what type of search do you want your child to have? Do I want to allow all the searches, or do I want Google to help me filter mature sites? Or you can set it approval required for all sites. So before your child goes to any site, it will send you a link saying, it will send you a notification saying, would you like your child wants to access this website? Do you want to approve or not? Okay, then I'll press OK. Then there are more filters. There are filters on Google search. What type of search do you want to do? So you can say on, we want our child to do self search. And then controls for signing in. So controls for signing in, do you need permission when your child tries to sign in on another device using their Gmail account? So sometimes they can get another tablet which you haven't set up, so before they log into that tablet, then it sends you a notification saying would you want to allow them to go ahead and log in. Then you can set those permissions. So I'll say okay, and then I'll say next. Okay, so on this page you're given an option to install Family Link, because remember we installed Family Link on the parent account, or not to install Family Link. So here I'll click continue and install so that I can be monitoring the device remotely. Okay, then I'll say next, so I can review controls which have been set. You can set daily limit for how long do you want your child to be on the phone using the device. You can set location share. So now let's see how you can control your child's device from your device. So I'll put away the child's device because we're done now on this one. So now I'll go to phone so that I can show you how it looks like. So I'll open. As you can see, it's still stuck on that page. So what you can do, just close the application, restart it. So when it loads, you can see my child's name is test. There it shows my account on top. So I can go to view so that I can view my child's account. So you can add another child if you have more children. It allows you to control up to 5 children. So I'll say choose settings. So all the settings which I've set on my child's phone will come this side. So there's no need for me to start going back on my child's phone and start making other settings. So I can start doing the settings from here. I can say from the Google Play Store where they download things. What do I need to do? So if you remember, these are settings we did on the Google Play Store. I set the applications to be on 3 years. Okay, I can go back YouTube, the Chrome restrictions we set. So try to block explicit site. I can go to manage. So manage sites, explicit site. I can say either approved or blocked. And I can also put in only allow approved site. So which means here I can predefine the sites I want my child to go to. Okay, so I can keep it there for now. And then search in Google search. How do I want my child to search? Then I can just turn on self search. So by turning the self search, you've also configured the restrictions within Google Chrome. You have other controls like the location, third party, the signing in and stuff like that, which you can change without having to get your child's phone, because now you've got control of your child's phone.